Hello, everyone. My name is Winson. I'm Deputy Managing Director of Enuit Singapore. I'm glad to be part of the Asia Risk event today to share with you why you should do it, when you should do it, and how you should do it in selecting and implementing ETRM solutions. Now, a little bit of the introduction of the company, right? Enuit is an award-winning provider, ETRM solution provider for energies and commodities companies since 2008. We are a global, we are a company of global presence, right? With regional offices in the US, in Europe, and in Asia Pacific. Now, leading the companies are two founders, David Mayers, Ken Han, President and CEO respectively, along with the management team, David Rao, Chun Singh Ganesh, Chief Product, Chief Technology, Chief Ops Officer. Now, the global strength of 130 professionals, including 35 of them all based in Singapore, right? So we have the right domain expertise and implementation capabilities in most of the commodities industry. Now, a little bit on our product. Now, typically, really, ETRM has been in the market for almost for the past 30 years, right? Now, our product and trade by far, actually, it works for all commodity. It's a platform for a true multi-commodity space where it has a unified deal architecture and valuation engine. What this means is it's actually basically has a built-in deal designer that allows our client to virtually design all deal types that is supported by the business. Now, the common question, really that brings to a customer's mind, client's mind today is why we should do it. As I mentioned earlier, ETRM systems has evolved over the past 30 years, in which these systems has went through multiple iterations, a lot of trial and error, a lot of needs has been captured to where it is today. It is considered one of the most essential and necessary tool for commodity firms and trading firms. As such, there are 4 areas that I'd like to share today on why you should do it, namely digital transformation. Now, digital transformation, a very profound term, right? So basically, it's a process of using technology to really enhance the business process, to improve data access, meaning users can access to data fairly quickly, the ability to automate certain processes as well. So with all these in place, the need of having a system is very much advantage to the client. Secondly, data standardization. It's very important that nowadays, really, if you want to analyze data, if you want to use data more efficiently to meet the organization emerging demands and needs, definitely you need to have some sort of standardization. Now, with this in mind, there are savings in costs, there are saving in times, they are more consistent in the data source, and that definitely you will minimize a lot of errors in which really you go by when you use them. Thirdly, in the current climate, really volatilities and shifting business processes. Now, all these unexpected price fluctuations may affect a lot of things, may affect the business model. Imagine the economy and the industry factors that's going on around the world, fiscal policy changes, all these risks, if you need to manage them properly, you definitely need a system. Next is transparency. Really, transparency is to enhance accountability, to make sure that you have good governance so that it increases the efficiency and effectiveness of auditing or compliance measures. So with all these factors, the need of having a system is much more needed. As in when you should do it, actually there is no really ideal case on you should do it now, you should do it later. Our recommendation to our client is you should adopt early, basically start early. If you're looking at the 4 needs from the previous slide, if you already have inconsistent information and errors and omission in your operations, in your reports, in your daily processes, you have multiple systems and multiple interfaces, which sort of high maintenance costs. If you're having poor time lag information, you do not have up-to-date information. If you want a better risk management and control, and last but not least, if you're expanding, if you're expanding your business model, you're getting in new commodities, you're trading new stuff, this is you should adopt early, and this is when you should start adopting a system. Coming next, and really, how should we do it? There's a lot of good processes, good pointers out there, but I'd like to share 10 for success for ETRM selection implementation. First of all, you need to determine the business strategy. What do you want to achieve in your business objective? Once this is firm, you know that what you're getting at. Next, form a specialized team. These teams is the team that is really specialized to sort of like go through the whole process, go through the project schedule, go through project management, making sure that all the needs are covered. Next, evaluation and selecting a system. Now, in ETRM selection, there are a lot of consideration. Whether it is scalable, is it flexible enough to meet my needs? What about upgrades? What about future maintenance plans? So all this has to be taken in mind when selecting a system. Next, understand the cost and budget. It's very important because really, at the end of the day, you are working with a set of capital that you have. Really, the cost determines how much you can do and what you can do. With all this in mind, the next thing is you need to know your business processes, because effectively what we are doing is merging your business processes into the system. So if you are not sure about the business processes that you're currently, it is a good time to understand and firm up your business processes. Now, having a project would mean having a few key roles. You must have good governance, a team structure in place, the stakeholders, who are the users, who are the vendors. Each of them have a role and responsibility to play. Now, with all these set up, you are good to go. When doing implementation, it's also very important to define your scope. Right? You want to know what are your requirements, what are your priorities, what do you want to do next? Is it going to be a phased approach? Phase 1, phase 2 first, followed by phase 3, phase 4. You can break it down into smaller phases. You don't have to do it all at once. Okay. Now, Enuit, from our years of implementing projects, we approach our implementation with a pragmatic mindset. Really, we are realistic. We work with the client's budget. We work with the client's cost to make sure that we are aligned with the requirements and plan them out in a more realistic time frame where really is reachable. Last but not least, I think for every project implementation, there are bound to be obstacles. There are bound to be problems, mismatched expectation. Our approach is we want to see it through together with with the client from the start to the end. So pretty much these are the 10 pointers I think I would like to share really for success in ETRM selection and implementation. So with this, I hope you find these pointers useful, and we are happy to engage you for any possible discussion if you have any. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you.